All you need to be a man is to have a manhood. But it takes a lot to be a father. You are not a father because you gave birth to a baby. You are a father because you raised a generation. You raised a people into becoming a figure that will be beneficiary to the society. For the few fathers who have worked tirelessly to give our generation a people to sustain us is worthy of celebration. And the Bible says that a father should be without honor. According to Malachi chapter 1 verse 6, God is saying that if I am your father, where is my honor? So the world is not making a mistake honoring fathers, because the key to fatherhood, fathers connecting to children, that key is honor. And these days should be days that we cherish deeply. The main reason why, according to Prophet Malachi, the main reason why God sent John the Baptist was to preach until the hearts of fathers are connected back to the heart of children. He said, if this does not happen, I will strike the earth with a curse. So any land that there is no connection between fathers and children, there is an atmosphere of curses that rests on the land. That's why we have to be careful. If Ghana has been, statistic wise, if Ghana has been chosen as a country that has the highest of children father disconnection, no wonder people seem to be working, doing well. Everything shows that people should do well, but the blessing is not there. People have gone to school, but the blessing to establish them. People are hard working, but the blessing to establish them. There's a dimension of hard work and there's a dimension of a blessing that must be the engine of that hard work to bring results. And we are not having it. Whoso cares his father or his mother, his lamp, his light, shall be put out in obscure darkness. So any society that does not have, listen, I'm talking of both biological fathers and spiritual fathers. Even in a church, anyone that does not have a connection with the father of the house will not experience certain dimensions of glory. And anybody that keeps speaking against a father or a mother will never, the person will keep going down. It's not a threat, it's scriptures. Whosoever cares his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. What it means is that over time your life will be extinct. You will be alive but no influence. No matter how Rebecca likes you, she can't bless you. She must only set you up for the father's blessing. Your mother can overlove you, but it is your father's tongue that will establish you. And we are in a system where mothers, in their quest to love children, draws them away from their source of blessings. Your father is not good. Your father is not dead. Your father is not dead. Your father is not dead. By the time you realize you have disconnected the father and the children, and very soon you realize that in as much as you wish your children well, they will still struggle because there is no connection between they and the carrier of their blessing. We are losing the value of fathers in our lives because we have been used to single parenting. Out of bitterness, many mothers have literally disconnected their children from their true sources of blessing. And how these children will manage to prosper, I'm yet to find out. What your opinion says does not matter in supernatural matters. You may, out of many reading of books and studies and all that, you may condemn what I'm saying, but what I'm telling you is the reason why you are struggling is because you didn't really connect to your father the way you have to connect. Every couple have issues, but for the sake of the father-children connection, make sure that you cover your issues from your children so they don't know. The most dangerous thing is for children to take side. And if they choose mother over father, they will get all the pampering in life, but pampering does not establish destiny. And every single time, if you leave children, they will definitely choose mommy. But unfortunately, mommy does not have the key. So a drunk daddy can bless. So even if your father is a drunkard, it does not take his authority to bless from him. How can we raise responsible fathers out of these youths coming up that all they think about is sex, pleasure, enjoyment, unnecessary engagements? How can we build a society with responsible fathers? Do our youth understand who a father is? Do our young men, even you young man seated here now, I know you've got a wife, I know you've got a child, but do you understand who a father is? And I'm going to show you 3 dimensions to fatherhood. The first one is the hallmark of good fathers. Then I'll touch on the keys for headship and battles around fatherhood. Every good father have a family that the first thing is your family would want to see your availability. Be intentional about it. I know you are a busy man. You want to achieve the world for yourself. You want to be the world president. But fatherhood begins from paying the price of making yourself available. Do you know fatherhood is the only title God didn't go for? It took him a long time before he did one thing, then said, now you can call me a father. He commanded us to see him as God until he loved us enough to come and visit. And when he came to visit, he saw our pains and then took our pains from us. And from that time, he declared that you are my children and I am your father. At first, I couldn't call myself a father because I've not done this for you. Stop calling yourself father around. Have you been available? Do the people you call children know you? Do you understand their heartbeat? Do you know their language code? No matter who you want to meet and no matter what you are pursuing in life, there must be a point that you have to put a full stop and go back to the family you are raising. Never be an irresponsible father who does not know what is happening. You can't be traveled out of your family for so long a time and you are fine. 20 years away from your children, you are fine. What kind of father is that? Do you know how there are fathers who didn't know how their children went to JSS and went to senior high and went to university, yet they were paying fees? That is why you know that there are times in life that your presence is higher than your money. When the child is sick, who takes him to hospital? The child begins to go warm, and then you turn and tell the mother, take the child to hospital. No matter how busy I am, there has not come a time Daniel has to go to hospital that I will leave his mother and say, take him. And most at times, he will not even want to stay with his mother. He would want to be with me. And no matter who you are, if you call me, I won't pick. I just finished praying for you the whole night. It's time to take care of my boy. It's time to take care of my boy. Yes. I hardly sleep at night praying for people. In the daytime, the good news is that the time I'm praying for you, he's asleep. So when he's awake, I must forget you and take care of him. Before God judges me on you, he will judge me on him. There are days that literally I sleep just 2 hours. Because by the time I get home by 5 a.m., by 6:30 a.m., he wants daddy to bath him. No matter what his mother does, daddy must bath him and dress him up. So I'll sleep just 1.5 hours. Then he'll bring me up again. I have to do it. I don't turn back and say, I'm working for you. You've got to be available for that family you are raising. So that over time, your children will not be different from you. You will not be a good father producing evil children. Then you turn back and ask your wife, who is responsible for this child? I know this is not my character. I know I can't give birth to such a child. By the time you should have a child is like buying a new Samsung phone. When you buy a new Samsung phone, there's literally nothing on it, but it has the capacity to have everything. So if you have understanding, you can put dictionary, put Facebook, put WhatsApp, put everything on it, so that over time the phone produces back to you what you put into it. When a child comes out so innocently, he has the capacity to do everything, but somebody must trigger it. So if you are not available to trigger it, somebody else will. Good fathers, the hallmark of good fathers is availability. Your children shouldn't call you for too long to see you. They asked Billy Graham, what day is your saddest day? He said, my saddest day was the day that I left for a crusade. And Billy Graham's crusade, sometimes he can leave, and for 6 months he has not returned home. And that time his child has been born, and the child was now learning to crawl. So the wife said, okay, he can go and come. But after he and his team left, the wife decided that I'll also take the child so that we can be with our father. So when he got to the office that is hosting Billy Graham, she decided not to go, just to surprise the father, and then asked the protocol to pick the child and leave the child at the door for the child to crawl to the father. Then he left the child at the door, and the child was crawling to Billy Graham, and that loving heart of Billy Graham left his seat and went to pick the child and started blessing the child and asked, whose child is this? That was when his wife came out and broke into tears and said, that's your baby. So over time, Billy Graham didn't even know his own child. For some of us, we know our children, but our children don't know us because there is no availability. I know you're a busy man, but your busyness will be useless without raising a generation before you leave. Your name will extinct if you don't leave a human being behind that will extend that name. Your family must see emotions, not just availability. You see, men are naturally made to be strong, and sometimes we want to show that strength at work, at church, at everything we do. Even in the marriage, we want to show that strength. And then when we give birth to innocent children, the next thing is that we want to show that strength to a child who can't even talk, to a child who does not know his left from his right. So much so that you want your child to fear you, to a point that it takes a miracle for your child to see you laughing. The day you laugh, your child will go and ask mommy, today daddy is laughing. And some of you have the capacity to show emotions, but you are not. That child is too innocent for that. Even God is showing emotions. I love you. Even God is trying to tell us he loves us, and we've accepted it. God telling you I love you. You telling yourself that I'm a man, I can't be telling my children I love you. You may be a big man at office, commanding people everywhere, but when you come home, let your children see a loving figure, someone they can joke with, someone they can be happy around, someone they can flow with, share jokes with.